Good morning. Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Is this screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have just a small topic on plagiarism and we will just end our unit 4 today. Okay. So as per discussion, we have already studied about your ethics, right? Students, did you remember? We have discussed about the ethic last lecture, and now today we will just add up some informations about the do's and don'ts, and which is actually mostly based on your plagiarism, because the today's data is actually with full of informations, and the informations can be good also and bad also, because you have a command what you can do. So just let's check out what this plagiarism will be, we will be learning. Okay. Now when I say plagiarism, it is actually using others ideas or others word without giving them any credits. Because in publications, or if you are working on any research article, or if you have gained any inspiration or motivation from someone's research, then you should actually give them credits. But many of the time, the researchers or students, or we can say any institute also, if does this type of activity, that it is considered as a plagiarism, and they are like under the legal effects and all that. So if I say legal effects, it is of two way. One is ethical and other is a legal issue. In ethical one, there is a morality, means in like how we say, in morals you should give the credits, and if you do not follow, there are laws which will help you to find your own rights to be found out. Plus the person who are using your data, or the person who are using your ideas may be charged, or maybe like under the section of activities, and they will be considered as the plagiarism tactics, and the laws will help you to find out a way. But many of the time it is seen that the publications or the publishers or the researchers are affected, or we can say the punishment is by the main source, because every law or every ethical morals rights have a community, have a society, have a organization which deals with, and they are the final people who will decide what is the like punishment, or what is the effect they are going to do on that kind of person. Okay. Now just we will go and learn what actually this plagiarism will be like dealing with in your research, because plagiarism is a very vast thing. It has many different sections. So basically, what is a section you are going to learn? It is mostly because when we say plagiarism, the word defines many things. So what are these many things? First, it is actually a thief theft of, or we can say it is just a stealing of some intellectual, or we can say some literature work. We are taking the sentences of someone, we are not rephrasing it, or we are not paraphrasing it, we are just taking their information. So that is a stealing. That is, we are like taking something from another one. So it is considered as a theft of intellectual thefts, because it is from the information. So that's why. And if like we are using exact words, like if I say the chlorophyll are the source for photosynthesis, or we can say like something, C3 pathways are followed in this XYZ plant. So if that same statement I am using, then without giving any of the reference, then it is considered as a plagiarism, because when I am taking a information, I should like read it, mainly understand it, and rephrase to a new thing by saying the photosynthesis are done with the help of chlorophyll pigment, or I will say C3 pathways are a particular pathways where the photosynthesis is, or we can say C3 is a part of a photosynthesis pathway. Like we just rephrase it. We are conveying same information, but the technique of saying the terms by using a active passive voice should be different from the source of the information. And plus you have to give the information also, that from what source you have taken that information. Like it can be from a book, it it can be from a journal, or it can be from a like any web portals or any web blogs or anything. So if I am using any idea also, like for example, there is a particular mechanism going on in a particular cell, okay, and I have just listened, or we can say I am the person, I am just listening to the another person mechanism work, what he is presenting, and I am taking the idea from him, but I don't know that person. Still, I am using his data or her data. So that type of work is also a plagiarism, because you don't know that person. You are taking his idea, so you should actually go and ask to that person, what is your name, what is your work, and you should give a citation or reference, because he has started the work earlier. So without giving any acknowledgement or without giving any credit, if we use anyone idea, then it is a plagiarism. Okay, now it is also considered when you are not giving a credits, and plus you are when presenting others work. Now what does it mean? Some of the time there are some of the research where the researchers have very limited time, or he don't have much of the resources to be fulfilled for the research or work, or we can say the execution of the work. So sometimes he takes a idea from a web portals or from the different papers, and he actually make a replica of that graph, or make a replica of that photographs or the content. So it is like he is presenting some another work, but he is not giving the credit, even he is not acknowledging that person. Then it is a plagiarism, because it is a stealing of some information of others data. Clear? Students, are you understanding what is this plagiarism is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if I say I am presenting a modified idea, like the same example, like I have heard some of the idea, I expired it and I modified it, because for example, if he is using a water bath, I am using just like a steam inhibitor, or I will say I am just using a dry heat. So it is just a modification, but the protocol is going the same. So this types of modification is also need credit plus acknowledging. So even if you modify the idea and you present, and if it's similar to that person, then it is a plagiarism, and he has a right that he will claim that you have plagiarized his work, and he can be like you can be in the ethical, or we can say in the legal issue, because he can summon you for that type of plagiarism work or anything. Okay. Now if I want to define plagiarism, then what is plagiarism? In single word, I will say claiming work of another and saying it is mine work. So it is a simple definition. But if I want to more to be explored, then I will say publications plagiarism. Now what is publication plagiarism? It is like we will say submitting a copy, or we can say the journal which have been already published an article, and using that publication for my own publication, and then I am like making it as a non reference, or I'm stating that the whole idea was mine, because the earlier work which I am presenting was not digital, or like we can say it was not digitally present, or if I say some very like old books which is not available on net, that type of data are used for my work, but I am still not referring to that book or that citation, then it is a plagiarism, because even if that book is old, some of the day that data will come into a web portal, and it will show that you have taken that same data, same work from that book. And at that time your paper can be in a like bit scenario, because it can be like discarded, or that paper can be like treated as a whole plagiarized word, and it will affect to your research works also. Now if I say copying pasting the other works, now what is this? For example, there is a group of people, okay, they are doing the work, and sometimes there is a split. So if the same work is presented by both the team, or if I say one team has presented the whole work saying that this paper is mine and he has published, but after some time the second person does, so it is like a copy pasting the others work, because they have not done the whole work. They should use a combined like publications or what, but they will now consider as a pasting thing, because they have just copied each other information. Or it can also be the either way. If you don't know the person, you have just adapted his graph or content or calculations or the data thing, you have just copied that information from a web portal, or we can say any of the journal paper, then that is also a copy pasting was. You don't know that person. So the copy pasting plagiarism can be in between the known people also, and it can be between the unknown people also, because it is defined as you are not doing your work and you are just taking the information from the different person, or we can say different researcher. Okay, so if I say the paper which was published was just slightly changed, or we can say it has just the addition of two and or something like grammars or anything, or I've just added like the and all that, I'm just rewrite that paper, even though it will be considered as a plagiarism, because you have not modified or you're not summarized that paper. You have just made a slight of paraphrasing and you have published it. So it is also under a plagiarism, because when you are conveying some information, it should be used in your own words, not with the statement used by that researcher or that person you are referring. Okay, now what is this ubiquitous words processing? Now if I say chlorophyll, or if I say photosynthesis, or if I say mechanism of enzyme activity, or like these types of word, so these similar words have many meanings, because mechanism, protocol, process, these are the different terms can be used to denote or to convey the mechanism of activity. But when you are paraphrasing any information, then by changing just this word, like if the statement is the enzyme activity mechanism is shown in this paper, or for example I will say species X show maximum activity of enzyme XYZ. So it can be plagiarized if I say the species A show the enzyme process optimum at different protocol or the particular things going on. So I am just conveying the same thing, I'm not adding up the information. Then it is like use of ubiquitous words processing, and the internet actually helps you to plagiarize, because it makes you to have all the information in just one place. It's help you to pull up all your data, and when you are extracting the words, you actually forgot that using the same word can be under the ethical issues, and you should use actually convey your own summary when you are when you are stating any work, or when you want to describe some of the criteria which you have done for your work, or some of the mechanism which you have processed. It should be in your own words, not with reference to the researchers which have been already published. So if I say Some of the like plagiarism can also be seen in the students. Now, what is the students? Because many organization, or we can say many university, actually check students work based on their summaries they submit. If students of a same class make the use of same statement, same content, and no change in any of the paragraph of any of them, that is a point the plagiarism comes, and they are defined what is plagiarism. So actually the students should be well aware of this term, because you are actually replicating the work, you are not performing any new work, and replicating of any work is not accepted in any of the degree. So you should actually make your own good version, because most of the time when you have a homework or assignment, or when you want to convey any brief answers, or we can say any summary of some of the paper, when single paper is given to the whole class and they have to present their own summary, it is seen that they one two people does the work and other people just copy it. Then that one two people actually have done the work, and all people which are copying, actually they are in the ethical issue, because they are plagiarizing that two people work. So basically this plagiarism word should be known to the basic students also, because by saying this thing you actually motivate student to write the things in their own words, because every people have different understanding, and the same data can be seen in different perspective of different students. Some will say the bar graph is more, some will say the paragraph is a very like comparative, or we can say the compound x is present less in this, some will say compound x is more in this. Means every person will have different opinion based on their view of viewing the data. So that viewness, or that we can say perception of viewing that data, should be actually recognized by that students. So that's why this plagiarism term have been came in the in the particular degree, or we can say in the studying habit, because it helps students to motivate to do their own work, plus it helps the students who are actually doing the work and they are not giving that credits, so that credits are given to that students. So it is actually a balancing thing, it is making a equal, like equal informations to be given to each and every, plus every work should be acknowledged. Now if I say that internet has made the detection of plagiarism also very easier, because many like plagiarism checker, or we can say check for plagiarism, these are the keywords. When you type in the web portals, you get a online free sites, and you can just paste your data, or we can say your content which you have written, and you can actually check what is a percentage limit of your plagiarism. So that will help you to find if you are using the same statement, or if you are using the rephrasing, or that data need to be more modified. This will help you. So internet can also be a reason for the plagiarism, but internet also solve the problem of plagiarism by giving such type of online views, or we can say such types of packages will help you, because when these types of portals are used, you are actually growing in by intellectual type, and you are making the use of different things. Okay, so if I say I want to describe plagiarism, now what this plagiarism can be described, I will write intentionally or knowing representing the words or idea of another words, including any kinds of writing, or by students, or I can say any secondary sources, or from the fellow students, or from any term paper. So this statement will define or will describe the plagiarism in each and every aspect of your work. Now I can also say if intentionally or knowingly. Now what is intentionally and knowingly? Actually both the word have similar meaning but not same meaning. Intentionally can be you are actually doing, but knowingly you will say you know the information but you are not actually plagiarizing it, but some of the rephrasing was not done correctly, and by assisting someone it can violate, or we can say the provisions which are under the legal issues are disturbed, and it is also considered as a plagiarism. And if I will say that taking the own's idea but I want to write it another word, but I am not giving the credit or not giving the acknowledgement to that person, then it is also plagiarism. So both the way, if you have to be free from plagiarism, then you should rephrase it, you should write in your own word, plus the acknowledgement and the reference should also be given. All three criteria should be fulfilled by the researcher. Now, there is also a duplication of author's words. Now, what is this duplication? If someone is saying like if the statement you did, which is well known, they're saying that all enzyme are protein. Now there was a scientist who said this. If the starting researcher who actually denoted that quotation by saying this scientists have given the statement, but he did not said, and he actually presented that keyword or that work in the research document or the thesis which he has pursued, then there would be a trend that no one knows who actually have done the work, and plus that the statement was well known enough to know the person. So these types of like credits are taken from a researcher. So that's why duplicating others work, or we can say duplicating the quotations of any other work, should always be cited, because if it is well known then it will be caught, but if it is not known it will be caught but after some time, because time is a very very good factor. It helps you to make the use of data in extreme, and today or tomorrow if it is plagiarized then it will come into in light and the person will be barred for doing such kind of activity. Now if the word, like how these words are also a quotation, that is same for the phrases also, and for also submitting a paper which has the same word, like I'm just changing the alternation of the word, or if I say I'm just changing the line of the paragraph, that is also considered under the plagiarism. Okay, now what is this information ethics in digital age? Now it is actually related to your internet source. Now how this internet source are actually like making a like plus in the plagiarism, like what is a effect? First, it is a open source, so anyone can take a information, anyone can modify, anyone can copy it, anyone can paste. But when you make a ideology of just having the cut paste, or we can say having the ideology of open source for cut paste, it is then make you a problem, and it these types of data can be very harmful to your research work, because plagiarisms are not a very good for you, because it's make many of the credits to be unknown, and plus it actually make you to copy, or we can say it is a type of cheating you are doing with your work. You have not done the work but you are presenting the work, so you are actually cheating with your own work. And plus when you are writing of anything, like it can be a graph also, it can be a pictures also, or it can be a like a content of anything, so you are just making a no quotations, or it can be a small or large, but when you are making the information, then you should make a proper use of contents and proper use of references when you are analyzing this thing for your research. But there are also a parameter where the copyrights and trademarks come into in picture, because if I am using any logo, or if I am using any images from a web portal, then that web page or that creator of that web page should be given a credit, because if that logo is seen in another person research or another person articles, then the earlier people can like file a complaint saying it was plagiarized. And for that type of thing which will affect your research work, and plus these types of work should not happen, so that's why government have started a work of a copywriting and trademarking. Now these two actually, they are the legal protocol where you just submit your diagram or you submit your logo, and you get a like a ownership of that particular image or illustration which you have made. So having a copyright is like saying the work is mine and no one can use your work without giving any information without you, because you are the sole owner and you can anytime complain if that data have been used or that logo have been used. So you should know what are the copyrights, trademarks, and plus your intellectual property. And it is mostly based on the patents. Patents are the also a best source to preserve your ideas and datas. Okay, now the citations which you use, APA, MLA, or the Chicago and anything, this all format are actually listed in this type of community, and they have given a particular protocol that researchers should follow. You know what are the different types of bibliography, we will not discuss that, but the community or the organization play an important role by helping the researcher to make a ownership of any of the thing he has invented. Like it can be a diagram also, it can be a content also, or it can be a particular type of designing of electric thing, or we can say any mechanism pathway. Even the ideas which you get of presenting, that ideas are also called as a provisional ideas, and they are also being patented. So this thing should be known by you, and make use of this thing, so that the digital age, or we can say this open source, do not make a misuse of your data. Okay, so if I want to say, the plagiarism and the World Wide Web both are like in a complementary. So now how? Firstly, your World Wide Web means www, which you use for like your www.google.com, like how you write www.yourgmail.com, or you write a www of any of the thing. So it is a World Wide Web. So it is the most popular information, and due to this, it is operated in whole world, and that is the reason the data is easily available to each and every source or each and every person. So avoiding the plagiarizing of the source is a very like important task, because having all the data and using like writing the own summary is slightly very optional to that type of person. So they have a different way. Now there is also cases where the same rules, or we can say the same rules from a printed source, or the writer which say the quotes or idea on the site you take, then it must be cited. Because when you go for a blogging, or when you go for any of the data from a web page, that web page is actually created by that researcher. So if you want to apply that quote, or you want to apply that statement, then the same application of the rules, like you have to not plagiarize it, you have to rephrase it, you have to convey it in your own word, and plus you have to give the citations or reference. That three rules should be applied here also. Now if the applications of the rules is used for the quote, then it is also for the website, because you are using the visual information, so you have to give the credit to that website also. Now, if I am saying I am copying the visual information or the graphics, which is similar to the quotation, even though then both the graphic and website and the quotation, all three sources should be given credit. So based on the use of the things, you go further and further, you give a citations or the reference to that primary source. Or if the other type of data like any textual or the any content with the photograph is used, then that web page and graphic both have to be your information. So in short, you have to actually consider use of all this yours data, graph, illustration, or we can say the content, concept, codes. Everything you are using from a data should be given a credit. Plus, when it is a web page, the idea or the copyright issues are there, and you should actually gain a permission, obtain a permission from that graphicer or that presenter or that illustrator is a best option for you. Because if that presenter or that researcher give you permission to use the data or that logo or that graph, then you are free from the plagiarism, and the data is like from the full and final view of the publications. Now, what happens if this all protocol is not followed? Students, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this was the thing you should follow. But if you don't follow, then what is the effect? First, you will lost all the trust from the journals and the researcher and the research. Now, how from the journal? Because once you have reported for the plagiarism, then whenever you go for the publication, your article are rechecked thoroughly, and it takes much time than the earlier. Second, the research. Any research people who will consider your work will think twice or thrice before referring to your work. So it is actually the loss of the trust from the research academics, or it can damage to your career. Because when you go for a plagiarism or you come under the plagiarism thing, then you not only damage your own career but also damage your assistant or your helper or your partner's career, because you all were involved in that work, and just by presenting a small percentage of plagiarized work will affect your whole research work to be in the garbage, or it can be discarded by the funded agencies, or it can be not been published in any of the journals, so it is just a waste. Now, it will also affect on the institution or the organization where you are working. So the corruptions, or we can say it is a evidence that the researcher is actually not a good researcher, and he is a like a bit, we can say he should be removed from the research industry. And because that type of researcher will waste time, efforts, plus the funds of the organization. So waste of these three important source, because time and money are important, but at some point the funds can be raised, but the time you waste for this type of activity will not be like coming back, because once a year is gone, then your work will have to face that thing, and that time will not come back to you again. Next, when you go for any unethical research, it will harm your researcher, plus the person you are volunteering or the subject. If you are doing any of the clinical trial, if you are presenting a wrong data, then that volunteer or that presenter or your assistant, they may be affected, because the veracity, or we can say the false data, will waste all the resources plus the energy of that person. Now, if I say the practice policy are based on the fraudulent research, then this type of practice are actually not considered for any research, and they are barred for this type of activity. Okay, so if I say any future research is found of that person, then that future research are also rejected because the earlier research was not fulfilled, plus it was under plagiarism. So the future research which he has proposed, or he was proposing, or she was proposing, will be discarded, and it will be not passed by any of the agency or any of the organization. So you are actually making like a dead end to your career by using such type of misconducts. Now, what are the punishment if you are caught by doing the work of this plagiarism? First, any of the actions can be like the data can be discarded, or it will be considered as a illegal issue, or it can be a reason that it can be taken out from that organization, or in simpler way you will be expelled from that institute, or it can be a stay of your work, or we can say that your work would be in a discarded state, and it won't start any further for the research works, or you can be barred for your future research, like this data is now stopped, or this project is now stopped, and now the other, or we can say the data which you are going to collect in the future are now barred, and you can't continue your research project. These types of statements or these types of punishments are also given. Plus, it will affect your academic and professional reputations, because once the stain is there, it will be for a lifetime, and your work would not be considered again. And after that, this all thing which actually disturb you make after a legal action, because your stop of work, your reputation is discarded, there is a no continuation of your work, plus you are expelled from the institution, and the last and but not the least, you are actually fined or even barred for some years if the plagiarism is like in more way, or we can say very serious. So in serious plagiarism, the legal actions are taken. Slight things, if we are that is conveyed, or we can say the small mistakes are considered, then these small things are done. So actually we can say plagiarism should be avoided, because these types of punishment will like be a stain, and will not will be good for your research work. Now, so what is the limit that plagiarism is not considered as a illegal? For example, if I am stating a statement, then some of the statements are very similar. For example, there is an activity going on, or there is a content. If I want to say drug X is present in plant A, or I will say drug Y is present in plant B. So here only the X and B have been changed, and X and Y have been changed. Statement is the same. So these types of criteria are seen in many of the paper. So if when the plagiarism is checked and the percentage level is 10%, then it is accepted, because many a time you can't make a new statement in a newer way, because the trend you follow or the protocol you follow are same, but the modifications of the data you use, the modification of the execution of the project is done. That's why the base of the information remains the same, and if you are you citing and plus the plagiarism is seen like around 10%, then it is accepted. But if it is 19%, then the person may ask, or the organization may ask you to rephrase it again. By rephrasing it again, you actually minimize the percentage, and if it is around 15%, it is acceptable by journal. But there is a optional, because the organization may tell you to rephrase it, or it can be minimized to a 10% to a acceptance range. And if it is more than 20%, then it is a high percentage of plagiarism, and these types of work are discarded, or these types of work are not accepted by any journal. So maximum limit of the plagiarism, or we can say similar word which can be present to your work is 20%. More than 20% will be considered as a plagiarized work, and that work are not published or not considered for the publications or for any data report. Clear, students? Did you understand the limits of the percentage you are going to use?
Ma'am, can we explain the last point of the second slide?
Last part of the second slide. The acceptable by the journal.
No, ma'am. Last point of the second slide. The second slide.
Just a second. This one.
No, ma'am.
Okay, we will come back after this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I will just show you all the slide. You tell me which slide it was. We will continue because that is just a 2 slide to complete us.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what are the strategies that will help you to avoid plagiarism? First, put all the quotations or everything you write in a notes or in a text by stating the reference and the citations. Next, you should paraphrase just by not rearranging or replacing, but you should write in the own words. You should read the content again and again, because by reading again and again, you get a statement by your own summary or by your own conveyingness, and that statement can be used for your documentations or presentation of that work. Now, if I say I am using any idea, then write that idea, write the citation or write the reference, and then rewrite that idea again in your own word by giving acknowledgement to that person or that source. Or if I say I am rephrasing any of the original text, then use of the same phrase is accidentally seen. So when you are writing or when you're conveying the note, then you should use the different terms or the meaning of the statement given in that term. So this type of statement will help you to find information, but the accuracy should not be compromised, because if I am saying the mechanism is saying of of enzyme ABC, so the activity of enzyme ABC can be written, but I can't say the protocol of enzyme ABC is seen, because mechanism, activity, and protocol actually they have a same synonyms, but the meaning when you say in the statements are very different. So that type of information accuracy should not be compromised, and the statement should say the same thing that the person was saying. Now, if I want to say the common knowledge, now what is this common knowledge? It is like if I am saying the chlorophyll is a pigment used in photosynthesis. Now it is known for many people. Am I right? Or if I say the mitochondria is a powerhouse of a cell, this statement is very well known. So most of the time you will say this same thing. But when you are presenting, the modification of statement should be done, and you should write that the cell is given energy from the mitochondria, or we can say the cell are activated with the help of ATP generated from the mitochondria, and the other way. And for the pigment thing, we can say the chlorophyll is a main pigment for the photosynthesis, or we can say the photosynthesis uses the chlorophyll as a pigment. So there is a different way of saying, but I am saying the same information. So if you are not adding any information, or if you are giving the same information, then it should be rephrased, plus the acknowledgement should also be given. These types of statement are very like diplomatic. So sometimes you can use same line as it is, but you should write that this data is adapted. Now adapted means taken from, and by giving that reference and citation you are acknowledging. So if in future if you are writing any documentation or paper, then the use of any graph or table or the statement can be done, but you should write it is adapted from this site or this author or this source. So every term has a meaning. So whenever you say refer, whenever you say cite, when you say adapt, they have a different protocols, and that should be followed. Okay. Now, if there is also a general known ideas, or if I want to say there is an interpretation of some idea, then you should write the source also, the web page also, and plus the reference citations, which was the first person who started that idea, should be documented in a chronological order, and plus the information should be listed very clearly by stating it was like from the author AY, XYZ or ABC, or the any, like the journal or the year. Every details have to be included in such type of data. And if any quotation you are using, then use a mark of quotation, say in a standard document style. Standard document style means your APA, MLA or anything. And because in APA, when you write a citation, there you write a author's name, et al, and year. But in MLA or Chicago, there is a criteria where you just write a number, because that number is denoted from the reference, and the reference are in alphabetical also and not in alphabetical also. So that inference or that citation or that acknowledging is actually based on a different style. So you should follow the journal protocol or the documented protocol or the organization protocol. So you should learn each and every aspect of the protocol given by the your agencies or your organization. So same is used for the paragraph, and same is used when you rephrase the paragraph and acknowledge that information source. Clear?
राइट किया है मैंने अभी तक रिसर्च किया नहीं बट आई हैव डिसाइडेड द टॉपिक ऑन व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू अ रिसर्च वर्क
Okay.
and someone is copying it, so what it will be called under legal condition?
Okay, if you have registered, then you have whole right, and you can actually make a complaint on that person. But if you have not registered, and plus you have not actually given a provisional letter also, then you can't do anything. Like you need any documentation available with you saying that this idea was generally from you, or that idea was originated from yourself.
Okay.
तो अगर फ्यूचर में कभी आप कोई आइडिया ले रहे हो, कोई रिसर्च कर रहे हो, तो सबसे पहले कुछ तो पब्लिश कर दो, और अगर कोई पेटेंट है तो सबसे पहले उसका प्रोविजनल पेटेंट फाइल कर दो, कॉपीराइट है, ट्रेडमार्क से बहुत कुछ है. सो यू हैव अ प्रॉब्लम, लाइक समझो कभी कभी क्या होता है, यू हैव अ आइडिया बट पूरा आपके पास मतलब नहीं है, यू डोंट हैव द एंटायर व्यू, यू हैव जस्ट अ पार्ट, राइट? ऐसा होता है ना कभी कभी कि यू हैव
Yes.
टू स्टार्ट बट आपको एंड नहीं मालूम. So at that time you should actually write some of the information, you should publish. प्लस अगर कोई पेटेंट का काम है तो प्रोविजनल पेटेंट ले लो, बिकॉज उससे क्या होता है, यू हैव द होल एंड सोल राइट ऑन दैट आइडिया. तो इन केस इन फ्यूचर अगर कोई तुम्हारा आइडिया कॉपी करता है तो यू कैन एक्चुअली कैन कंप्लेन. ओके,
Okay, thank you
समझा?
ma'am.
ओके
Yes,
स्टूडेंट्स, कौन पूछ रहा था मुझे?
यस मैम मैं
ओके, हाँ मैं अभी स्लाइड रिपीट कर रही हूँ, मुझे स्टॉप बोलो. ओके,
ओके मैम.
ये वाला.
मैम विजिबल नहीं है कुछ में.
Oh, sorry. Just a second. I think share. Ah. Now it is visible?
Yes मैम.
Okay. This slide?
नो मैम.
This one?
नेक्स्ट वन. यस मैम. इसका
This
लास्ट वन.
Last one.
यस मैम.
Last statement. Okay, just a second. The ease of internet searches has simplified the detection of plagiarism. Okay, ये मैं आपको शो करने वाली हूँ क्या है. ये आपको जानना है ना, the detection of plagiarism.
यस मैम.
Okay, मैं अभी आपको एक्चुअली ऑनलाइन शो करने वाली हूँ. Just wait a second. Okay. Are you able to see this Google page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in case I want to check the content of any plagiarism, so I will just write plagiarism checker. See, can you see here? Detector, check, checker X. These are the different things. So you can go for any of them. I'm just checking our plagiarism check. And see, these are the free for students. Can you see here?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is from the Grammarly. You can check this. And these are from the different small tools. So I'm just clicking off one of this. Okay. So this is a web page. And here you can write the statement. So I'm just writing here mitochondria is powerhouse of cell. Okay. Now this statement is very well known, you know, right?
Yes.
Now, one first thing, every plagiarism checker has a limitation of word because it is free from student and it has certain limits. So for year, you can check at least 1,000 words for per search. Okay. So if you have written a whole essay or whole thesis, then you can check by adding in parts. Okay. So this is a statement and I'm going here. Check plagiarism. Can you see this tab?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So just click on this tab and see. The result will come and will show how much it is plagiarized. Okay. He is saying add some more test. So I will just have some information from the Google. Wait a second. See, this is a statement. I am just copying it. Okay, I have just pasted that copy statement and I'm just now checking. Check plagiarism. See, can you see this result?
Yes, ma'am.
See, now it is showing 100% plagiarized, right? Because मैंने
Yes.
उसको directly Google से उठाया and paste कर दिया था. And it will show me from where I have taken that statement. So by clicking on the compare, it will show me the source also. मैंने कहाँ से लिया था उसको. समझा?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So these types of checkers are free and you can use when you are in need. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Any other questions, students? Students, did you understand the plagiarism thing? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a second now. I will just stop